Florida, the land of illusion. We finna get into it, y'all. If y'all ain't heard, a lot of stuff been going on in the good old state of Florida, and we gonna expose it today. Go ahead, press play on that.
A Tennessee couple is looking for answers 3 weeks after their son was found dead at work in Duval County. Keandre Taylor worked at the TA Travel Center in Baldwin. The medical examiner ruled Taylor died by suicide, but his parents say the details of their son's death, they're just not adding up.
Pause.
Our Andrew Badillo is in the news.
So the young man died supposedly at work, and they ruled it a suicide. Okay, go ahead, press play, just so y'all know. Let's see how he was
tonight
found.
with more. And Andrew, I know you spoke with Taylor's parents this afternoon after they arrived here in Jacksonville.
Yeah, Tawana Taylor and Andre Taylor traveled 10 hours from Memphis, Tennessee to Jacksonville to learn more about what happened to their son. Tawana told me she learned more about her son's death one day after it happened. Tawana Taylor says her son, Keandre, was a jokester.
He usually would come in the house and be like, "Hey, old lady, what you cooking?"
Now, those jokes are all she has to remember him.
Never in a million years would I have imagined that this time, when my son walked out that door, that he would be coming back in a box.
On Saturday, September 30th, Keandre Taylor was found dead at this TA Travel Center in Baldwin, where he worked as a mechanic. On Sunday, Tawana Taylor got a phone call from the 31-year-old's ex-girlfriend,
telling me that she got a call from someone who says that they was Keandre's friend and that he was dead. And I was like, no, what kind of games are you playing? Don't do that.
The Jacksonville Sheriff's Office police report says officers were called to the truck stop for an employee dispute. An employee said Taylor and another employee had an argument.
Pause.
And that Taylor was asking other employees.
So they got in an argument, and he was asking for a gun. So what is that? Any detective gonna say, okay, we have a cause. We have a cause. You got your first victim. I mean, not victim, but suspect.
Right.
Go ahead, press play.
Employees for a gun. Police found Taylor in a building behind the travel center dead. The medical examiner ruled Taylor died by suicide.
Pause.
There's no way.
Pause. We just read the verdict of what happened. There was a dispute between two employees. He's asking for a gun. You found him hung at the same place, and you rule it a suicide.
He need to leave that dope alone.
Go ahead, press play.
That my son would kill himself. He was due to come home the very next week to see his children. He has 3 beautiful children.
3 kids. He's a father.
That he loves and adores.
Tawana and Keandre's father, Andre, drove from Memphis to Jacksonville for clarity. The two say the travel center and police have not been helpful.
Pause.
Something happened.
It said that the travel center and the police have not been helpful. That sound familiar, y'all?
That means they probably ain't turned over them tapes.
Yeah, we finna show y'all. Guess what? And guess what? This continues to happen. This ain't nothing new. Go ahead. Also, you had something? So this case right here, you can see a verdict. You can see if you do any investigation, you can find that there's something going on here. He's found hanging. Black people don't hang themselves, just for the record. Go to the next store. Go to the next store. So that's what just happened in Jacksonville area. Yeah.
It clearly said that he had a dispute.
There you go. There you go. So now you got probable cause. You got to do an investigation.
Hey, you know what, Cap? This right here is a very familiar thing that has keep on happening over and over and over again. There's people just trying to attack us, kill us, right? Incident happened, right? We die, and then it's being ruled as a suicide.
Yep.
It's
there
crazy.
You go. Hey, that's the word. Good job, Devin Jones. Motive. You got motive now. You got motive. There's a dispute between 2 employees. He wanted to get a gun. You got motive. You need to investigate. It ain't hard to find. Okay, let's go to the next story.
We shared this next story. We need to warn you, the details are hard to hear. A woman in Orlando was found hanging from a tree. Orlando police have said they believe she committed suicide.
Pause.
Her family thinks that someone else is responsible.
Y'all see this? Another person found hung in Orlando. Sister Yo-Yo. Same thing. It's suicide.
I see a pattern developing.
Go ahead, press play.
for her death. West Houston Night Brigadier explains why her loved ones and activists are now calling for accountability.
My sister was loving. She was cared for. She was my mother's caretaker.
The family of Yona Lubrin says she was a happy-go-lucky woman with a great sense of humor. They say she would have turned 31 years old this month, but she'll never see another birthday. Her life ended in a way her family describes as a mystery that needs to be solved.
On September 28th, 2023, Thursday, at approximately 7 a.m. in the morning, the partially nude body of 30-year-old Yona Lubrin was found hanging from a tree in the back of a home in Orlando, Florida.
The Orange County Medical Examiner tells WESH 2 the cause of Lubrin's death is still under investigation, but Orlando Police Department believes the cause was suicide. In a statement, OPD said in part, while all death investigations are predicated upon the existence of trauma to the body in order to determine a criminal act, our investigation has thus far not revealed any physical injuries other than the ligature marks on the neck caused by the hanging.
Because my sister, Yona Ruth Lubrin, did not commit suicide.
Lubrin's older sister was joined by two community activists Wednesday morning as she talked about her family's loss.
She's not a case number, but she's a person that tragically lost her life.
OPD says that there's documented history of mental illness, witness statements, and cell phone communications from Lubrin that showed signs of suicide. Lubrin's body was found in the backyard of a home near West Livingston Street and North Westmoreland Drive. Her family says as far as they know, she had no connection to that neighborhood.
That she didn't put herself there, someone had to have put her there. Investigate all individuals who lived or occupied the home of where Mrs. Lubrin's body was found.
In Orlando, Senega Brigadis, WESH 2 News.
Orlando police.
So, another case, and the police is not being any help. Okay, go to the next one.
The bodies of Robert Fuller and Malcolm Harsh were discovered hanging from trees in two public venues, 10 days and 50 miles apart.
But I want y'all to hear what they ruled.
Neither death appears to be connected or shows any indication of foul play. Tonight, their shocking deaths are leading to calls for the state attorney general to investigate.
We've been hearing one thing, then we hear another, and we just want to know the truth.
24-year-old Robert Fuller's body was discovered hanging from a tree in a park near Palmdale City Hall. The L.A. County Sheriff's Office first saying the scene appeared to be a suicide.
Y'all see this?
Then today, deferring the official cause of death.
When black people found
will
hung,
now examine the rope and knot to see how it was tied.
And it is our interest to make sure that we leave no rock unturned.
It comes as protesters demand an independent probe and a homicide investigation.
We want truth. We want answers. We demand answers now.
When authorities found Malcolm Harsh's body hanging near a local library and homeless encampment in Victorville, they indicated no signs of foul play. The cause of death still pending, but Harsh's family says this was not a suicide.
I couldn't believe it because I had talked to him a few nights before, and we had made plans to see each other.
The Harsh family also noted the current racial tension and protest in this country, adding the death of a black man found hanging from a tree does not sit well or make sense.
Tonight, California's Attorney General and the FBI.
I think there's one more. Yep.
Early October 5th, Orlando police get this 911 call from a man at George Barker Park.
I was walking, my dog got out of the house, and I was walking my dog, and I came through the park. There's a guy in the middle of the park hanging. He's got a rope around his neck. He's hanging.
Around 3:45 a.m., police arrive and discover 22-year-old Nevin Baker hanging from a tree. They cut him down and try to help him, but he is pronounced dead just minutes later. Baker's family does not believe he committed suicide.
I was his grandmother, and he lived with me, and he did not kill himself. He would never come to this park.
Orlando police met with the Baker family.
The scriptures say, where there is no vision, the people perish.
Shalom, Israel. This is Bishop Nathaniel. I want you to know that you can view all our Sabbath classes live on IUIC TV. That's right, I said on IUIC TV.
Do you know your history?
going to show you and prove to you that the Israelites are black, were always black.
There's no time, just move up your body. Don't get loose and groove on the body. Bruise, whine.
Put on the armor, the procedure complete. Me nah go back, nah retreat. All traitors, every Jezebel must get delete. Me no sleep on a demon, me keep a full clip. Conspire me downfall, cause them want see me slip. Stay close to the real ones, we seal off and legit. Cause I gotta use them to keep your soul from the pit. This a war life, I swear the damn.
So, it was just a few cases. I could have sat there and gave a lot more. But it's interesting to me that every time a black man, black woman is found, before you even do a thorough investigation, before you bring DNA, before you do all the stuff you see on TV for white folks, CSI, I ain't never been in none of them shows, but it don't happen within 2 hours. No. None of this stuff, all is suicide. Suicide, suicide, suicide.
Right.
How does that happen? Also, notice the reaction of our people at the same time. We are disappointed, we upset, and we protested. Why are we surprised? Go ahead, lad. You have something?
Yeah, I was just thinking about this. I don't remember a lot of black people going to Boy Scouts, learn how to tie knots.
There you go.
That's not something
black people can't tie their shoes or pull up their pants.
Right. And like you said, in 2 hours they just ruled it a suicide, but they cut down the rope. You mean to tell me there was no signs of no stools?
Right.
No wood chips falling from the tree that somebody climbed the tree. There's no indignation, indication. There you go. But that's crazy, man. It's crazy. And all of these, like you showing, all of them showing a pattern that they don't give a damn.
They don't care. They do not care. Go ahead.
You know what? And this is the thing, right? The forensics team is supposed to be doing a thorough investigation to ensure that they gather all the evidence to make an indictment. You know what I'm saying? Not indictment, but make a to solve the crime. You know.
Yep.
Hey, I'm gonna just say it. Esau will sit up here and spend billions of freaking dollars on foolishness.
There you go.
I watched, what was that white girl? John Benet Ramsey. They know the damn parents probably did it. And over 10-year investigation.
Damn. Wow.
Meanwhile,
at least 10 years. Right.
At least. You got Jennifer Kessie in Florida, disappeared how many years ago? Millions of dollars put into that in effort and time.
Damn.
But you can't put in the same time and effort for black people. Hey, you can grab Deuteronomy 28 real quick.
Bring it out.
Where was that? The little white girl that out in Arizona or something. They made a big deal out of her. I can't think of her name right now.
I can't remember the name, but I know what you're talking about.
If one of y'all remember, she went camping with her boyfriend, and he came back and she didn't. Oh, it was on the news for a long time. You know what I'm talking about? Yep. Let's see if we can find that right quick. Go ahead with your point, though.
Deuteronomy 28 and start at verse 65. Because here's the thing. Historically, this nation acts like they forgot they used to hung us by their damn selves. So when these kind of things happen, there's a reason why black people's in an uproar. Like, wait, you can't just let this slide by. When it comes to LGBT and all that stuff, y'all go in with all of that stuff. So we want the same efforts, right? Read that real quick.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 65. And among these nations.
Among these what?
Nations.
Among these nations, historically, America, like Cap said, it was built off of the backs of slaves, the blood of slaves in the land. Read.
Shall thou find no ease?
We're not going to find no ease. Guess what that means? That means even when it comes to the judicial system, we are not going to get the same benefits from it. But you know what, though? A brother right now is saying, shut up and vote. Read.
Neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest.
Come on.
But the Lord shall give thee there a trembling heart and fainting of eyes and sorrow of mind.
Sorrow of mind. You have black family after black family after black family. And hey, what's crazy is in between all of this, we getting shot in the head from Buffalo to Florida. We getting pulled over where white cops talking about we don't shoot white people. You have all this stuff going on.
Every point.
And you know what I'm saying? I can understand why black people's in an uproar. And then you hear about a black man being a black woman or a man being hung, and it's like, yeah, so what? It's just a suicide. Just get brushed off as nothing. Right?
There you go.
They don't even want to take time to put their
the effort
or the finances into solving these problems, solving these cases.
Go ahead. Dan.
Yeah, I was saying that when you look at, I'm no expert at it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what suicide really looks like, but you got to think when somebody's going to hang themselves, it takes time. That's something that you have to prepare. You don't just randomly go into Home Depot, grab a rope, and then and get it done. There's time that's taken. The scriptures talk about it. Give me 2 Samuel 17:23. Because in history, we had Ahithophel when he had gave counsel to Absalom, right? He knew that death was coming, so he went and he hung himself. But guess what he did? He took time out in order to prepare to do that. Go ahead, read that real quick.
This is the book of 2 Samuel, chapter 17 and verse 3.
23.
Verse 23. And when
Ahithophel saw that his counsel was not followed, he saddled his ass and arose and gat him home to his house, to his city, and put his household in order.
So he went, got on his horse, went to his place, got stuff to picture it. He had preparation done. Read.
And hanged himself.
And then he committed the suicide. Go ahead.
And died.
And then he died. So what we're seeing is that most people, and they talk about it all the time, that's why they have hotlines, because this is something that's going in their mind. That's the sorrow of mind you just brought out in Deuteronomy 28:65, right? So this is something that you might be thinking about. There's signs to see that, hey, something ain't right. You just don't randomly go in the back of your job and just say, hey, let me grab a rope and hang myself up. So that's why there's an outcry of our people saying, listen, we want to make sure that this action that's happened is not foul play. Because it doesn't seem like
match up.
It don't match up. It don't match up. Like the friends or family, they're not saying, well, they were kind of, down, or, something didn't seem right the last few days. No, they're saying like, hey, everything seemed normal. Why is this happening? So when there's an outcry, they want an investigation. We want to know what happened for our brothers to be doing that, and how to get help if they needed help. But there seems to be no interaction with that.
You know, that's a good point. We as black people grow up poor. We grow up we grow up with all manner of affliction, and we just like it's a Monday. Meanwhile, other nations do this stuff. The market crash, Esau hangs himself, jumps out buildings. Black people, we just cope and deal with it and move on. So that's why it's not normal.
We deal with it. Go ahead, lad.
Different level. Can I get Psalms 83? And I'm just thinking about like the one that was behind the gas station. You mean to tell me nobody back there taking a break behind the gas station? Nobody know what's going on.
That's why I said they wasn't being cooperative.
So was there any gunshots? Because he asked for a gun. Was there any stab wounds? Like, okay. It's just making me think how each one of these scenarios, how they all in agreement. Like he was talking about the forensics team. Like the police knows, look, we ain't sending nobody out there. To hell with that. It's suicide. So that's their way around that thing.
Hey, you know what? Before you read that, that's an excellent point, because that travel center, that's off of 301. That's a very busy that's very busy truck stop right there. And I've never gone past there and not seen at least 100 trucks in that truck stop. So no, that's an excellent point you're making.
And to even go deeper than that, I think the Rasheem Carter case, right? Because he went to a store to ask for help, right? And all of a sudden, they don't know anything?
They don't know anything either, right?
Right. Read that. Psalms 83 and 2.
It's the book of Psalms,
verse 1.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 83 and verse 1. Keep not thou silence, O God. Hold not thy peace. And be not still, O God.
This for the people who don't understand why these things happen. We understand because we read the Bible. But God gonna have his vengeance, right? Read.
For lo, thine enemies make a tumult.
So all of these different white men, you might think one might be smiling in your face. One might be buy your lunch one day. They all your enemy. They don't want you on their jobs. They don't want you at their parties. They don't want you nowhere around them. Go ahead.
And they that hate thee.
They that what?
Hate thee.
They that hate thee. You got to understand, these nations, they hate your guts. But in particular, we talking about the ones who oppressing us in Florida. Go ahead.
Have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel.
The crafty counsel is they automatically say this is a suicide. That's crafty. Before even doing the investigation, there is no righteous judgment when it comes to the Israelites. Go ahead.
against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones.
Thy hidden ones, read.
They have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
And right, we got to understand that the reason why these things happen is because the Most High is trying to wake us up in these last days, Israel.
Right. What I wanted to hit on was the fact that not only are these people found dead, but the way they're found dead, and understanding the cultural context of that type of murder. When you go into lynching was a distinct tool that was used against black people. If you once you understand that, then when you see these bodies all over the place, you understand why this is being done. This ain't by chance. It ain't like when you see somebody shot dead, okay, nobody know what happened. All right, cool. When they hung us, they put us up in front of the whole city. Right. They took the biggest, strongest buck, hung them, and placed them in front of everybody so they can send a message. So now we're seeing the same thing happening today. Why? They're trying to send a message to our people. And guess what? They sending the message that, guess what? These people, the police, the government, they don't give a damn. Because they seeing our bodies being hung and they not investigating it.
Right.
How much more of a telling sign? They might as well put a Klan mask on top of their head and be like, all right, cool. Oh, suicide.
Right.
That's what it's gonna be. Crazy. I don't know. So give me Lamentations first, 4:17. And then I want to watch this video, and I got a lot more scriptures. And if we all want to bring something out, bring it out. But we got to deal with this.
The book of Lamentations, chapter 4 and verse 17. As for us,
the Israelites, read.
Our eyes has yet failed for our vain help.
Our eyes, each and every last one of them stories. You see the people saying that the police is crooked, they want justice, they want peace, but they're protesting. So why are we protesting? Why are we protesting against a people that we know don't give a damn about us? That is how bad they got us in the trick bag. The same man that you know that you call him the devil. We know the people that call the white man the devil.
Right.
Black people been saying that forever.
Right.
We call them what? Regular black. We call him Esau. Regular black people call him the man. You know the man want to keep us down. The man want to keep us oppressed. What are they saying when they say the man? They saying Esau. Right. That's all they saying. They saying the wicked. They saying the same thing. So you understand that this man has the power, and you understand that he's against you. But yet, in the same breath, you think he's going to give you a righteous judgment? You think he's going to judge rightly? Give me Sirach 12:10 while I read this. Go ahead, read it. Keep reading this. Read it from the top.
As for us, our eyes have yet failed for our vain help. In our watching.
In what?
In our watching.
In our watching. Our people are waiting. You see these cases go on for years. When it happens, you keep protesting. You watching, you waiting. Okay, maybe they'll open up the case. Right. Maybe they'll investigate. Maybe they'll do this. They ain't doing nothing. Right. In your watching, what?
In our watching, we have watched for a nation.
We have watched what?
For a nation.
For a police department, for a government system, for the FBI, for the Homeland Defense. Read.
That could not save us.
That what?
That could not save us.
America is not coming to save you. Right. Understand that. The police, and when you go into the police in their natural state, they were slave catchers. Look it up. In America, that is what the police was ordained to do. That's why where are they heavy at? They heavy in our neighborhoods. Right. Why? Because they trying to control us. Unfortunately, it's our people that's doing the crimes. Right. Now, the white man do all the white-collar crimes, but the murders, the stealing, all of that, why? Because we broke. We oppressed. We got apartments right on top of each other. You got a baby mama trying to hit you upside your head. But guess what? The white man understands that. And that's why he's in our neighborhoods. But guess what? When it comes down to something that's bad, they don't really care. They don't really care. Read that verse again, 17.
The book of Lamentations, chapter 4 and verse 17. As for us, our eyes as yet fail for our vain help. In our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us.
Because in every last one of these cases, you see the mamas, the grandmamas, they all crying. The police, the police, the police. Not one time. I don't think I heard God mention once.
Bring it out.
Not once. Go to Isaiah 9:13.
Bring it out.
That's how low we have fallen as a people. Where's the weeping for God before the newspapers? Before all the cameras saying God is going to help us and deliver us out of this situation. He's going to be the one that's going to issue justice. They ain't saying that.
That's because our people think God's the one that's killing us.
There you go. There you go.
About as far as the white man.
Yep. And give me that in Maccabees while we wait for that too. That they taking to be the Avengers. And what's it called? Read that.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 9 and verse 13. For the people turneth not unto him.
What the Bible say?
For the people turneth not unto him.
Our people don't turn unto God when these situations happen. How do we know? We showed up to yo-yo protests. We showed up to these other protests. And when we open up the Bible with this, hey, can you hurry up? Can you speed up? Meanwhile, we the biggest group there. We here to support you. Read it again.
For the people turneth not unto him that smiteth them.
They ain't turning to the man that's really in control of all this. Y'all don't get that. God is the one that punishes us. Read it again.
For the people turneth not unto him that smiteth them.
Read.
Neither do they seek the Lord of hosts.
Neither do they seek the Lord of hosts. Our people have not realized that the reason why we're being oppressed is because we're going against the commandments of God. Once they understand that, then maybe they'll be really happy when the Israelites show. They say, hey, we need y'all to teach the whole time.
Right.
Can you come to the funeral and teach all these people that's showing up?
Hey, Cap, and that's why the pastors don't show up. Because they know we got a heart for the people. They know we going to bring out the truth. So when them pastors come, they'll come and say their little spiel, and then they going to run because they know when the Israelites come, we going to tell the truth. That scripture we just read, the pastors do not want to hear that.
Nope.
Hey, you got to read that again. 13. Read it again. Read it again.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 9 and verse 13. For the people turneth not unto him that smiteth them. Neither do they seek the Lord of hosts.
Because when we bring out the solutions, they like, hey, can y'all hurry up? For the respect of the family.
For respect of the family. Meanwhile, we giving them solution.
We giving them solutions.
We giving them the solution. So your other daughter, your other sister, your mother, your husband don't end up in the same predicament.
Right.
But we got to be respectful.
We got to be respectful.
Oh man, our people is in a trick bag.
We got to be respectful. Then you go down the street, tells F the police.
Right. There you go.
And then you go to the police steps, and then you ask for help. What the hell is this?
Our people's confused. They got us in a trick bag. You got it in Maccabees?
Yes, sir.
Read that.
The book of 2 Maccabees, chapter 4 and verse 16.
This is what y'all all just witnessed before your eyes, all them families that was protesting. Read.
By reason whereof sore calamity came upon them.
Sore calamity has fell upon our people. They're being murdered. They're being hanged. They're being dragged on the back of a car. They're being beat so bad you can't even show their faces. All these different things are happening. Read.
For they had them to be their enemies.
Because we have the white man to be our enemies. Read.
And avengers.
And the avenger. What does that mean? One minute he the man, the next minute he's God Almighty.
Bring it out.
The same brother that's talking about revolution and talking about change, the next minute he kissing Becky in the mouth. I get that is how confused our people is. Every time. Read it again.
Yes, sir. By reason whereof sore calamity came upon them. For they had them to be their enemies.
The them is talking about Esau, our enemies. We had them, the white man, what? To be what?
To be their enemies.
To be our enemies.
And avengers.
And our avengers. 1 minute you saying that he's this, he's that, the police ain't doing this, and then the next minute you screaming for him to solve the case. Which one is it?
Right.
If he's evil, he's evil. If he ain't, he ain't. But guess what? For 400-500 years, he showed you exactly who he is. Give me that Sirach 12, real quick.
We just don't want to believe it.
Right. Yep, there you go. There you go. Sirach 12. I'm going to show you what God say about that. God say, believe it. You better believe it. Right. Read that. Sirach 12 and 10.
The book of Sirach, chapter 12, verse 10. Never trust thine enemy.
Do what?
Never trust thine enemy.
God says to never trust your enemy. That don't mean you can't be friendly to him. Right. That don't mean you can't smile in front of him. That don't mean you don't do business with him. Right. But you never trust your enemy. Read.
For like as iron rusted, so is his wickedness.
So is his wickedness. What does that mean? After a while, he gonna show his true colors. After a while, he's going to reveal exactly who he is.
Right.
Like Bishop Yawasop said so eloquently. Nigga, you knew I was a snake. Oh, man, that's the greatest quote ever.
Snake?
Right.
Hey, you know what's crazy, too, about this, Cap, is that when we commit crimes and they start, you know, looking into us and they'll go to your Facebook or your social media to do an inquiry about, you know, get some background on you.
Yep.
Right? But yet they can close a hanging in 2 hours.
Dang.
They don't do no searches of your to see, okay, let's see, there may be some telltale signs that he was crying out.
Right.
You know, that he was suffering or something like that. They don't even give it time for that.
Ain't gonna find it. You ain't gonna find it. Go ahead.
With the yo-yo case, and if I'm trying to understand it, right? This was behind somebody else's house.
Yes.
So you telling me you never even
They
said,
investigate the house at all.
you know, did you hear anything in the back?
You don't find that suspicious?
Yes, there was nothing at all.
Nothing done.
Come on, man.
Nothing done.
Hey, Cap, you can read that scripture one more time?
Yeah. Sirach 12 and 10.
Yeah.
Sirach chapter 12 and verse 10. Never trust thine enemy.
The ADL, read it again.
Never trust thine enemy.
The white man that says, if you don't vote for me, you're not black.
Right.
Read it again.
Never trust thine enemy.
What you got to lose.
Right.
What you got to lose. Because even recently, we was on a fly mission where I'm at. Brothers was like, hey, you registered to vote? And I was like, hey, you know what? I know you're working. Take this fly. I had to walk away.
Right.
Because, you know, everything playing on my mind or whatever, I'm talking to him about the A.J. Owens. No update.
Dang.
None whatsoever.
Right.
All you know is charge of manslaughter.
Yeah.
After that, we're just going to let this forget about it. Mind you, she's supposed to have a court date in November, right? And the brothers is talking about, are you registered to vote?
Right. Damn. Trick bag. Ultimate trick bag. So, just in case y'all lost in the sauce, you may be a millennial. You may not know what lynching is. Maybe your daddy never told you. You never knew. Press play on this video real quick.
As I was researching for Always in Season, I found that there were dozens of cases of Black people found hanging publicly since 2000, since 1995. Actually, I started looking at the case of Antoine Sedgwick, who was found hanging in Hampton, Virginia, hours after the O.J. Simpson verdict. And that case was ruled a suicide. And so there have been dozens of deaths, and they're unfortunately, sadly, are not exact numbers. There's a CDC report that I've been looking at that says that there have been 79 unsolved hangings of Blacks, and that they've all been males. In this report, 79 hangings that are unsolved between 2000 and 2016. And so you have all of these cases in the midst of violence we know that's not being acknowledged. If it weren't for the outcry, the public outcry around Ahmaud Arbery's murder, for example, then the McDaniels, Travis and Gregory McDaniel, and the accomplice would not have been held accountable. And so there is a justified outcry, even when the result is a suicide. There's a justified outcry that comes out of the Black community, but by anyone who's paying attention and concerned that these might be lynchings.
I wanted to ask you about the case of T.T. Gully, a Black transgender woman experiencing homelessness who was found hanging in Portland, Oregon. It got a lot of attention recently, and in fact, it got so much attention that a lot of people, including us, thought it had just happened in May of this year, but it was actually a year ago. The local medical examiner ruled her death to be a suicide, but her family believes she may have been.
This is another case. Somebody's murdered, and they rule it a suicide. Go ahead, press play. Press play.
Killed. Now it's getting renewed attention as a result of the hangings in California, Texas, and New York have gained national attention. So as you point out, it is not only Black men in these cases. And talk about the significance of the renewed interest in finding out what happened, investigating T.T. Gully's death.
Yeah, I think it's important to look at. I also thought that the death happened on May 27th of this year, but in fact, it was May 27th, 2019. And part of that reason is because the story was dropped by the press in 2019 and then picked up with these more recent hanging deaths. And so this kind of invisibility that goes with these hanging cases in general is even greater with trans women, trans people like TT Gully, for whom the family still believes that she didn't commit suicide. And the last news reports I saw on the case were from 2019 until very recently. And so that's just an example of how when we look at these cases individually, we're not giving the issues the attention that's merited, the issue about collectively what's going on beyond just dropping in on one case and then out when the police decide that they've figured out or that they.
So what she's saying is, when you don't look at it as one case, but you look at it collective, you see something. And you're saying, hold on, all these different hangings, it's the same thing. They ruling them suicide every single time.
What is a nation? Nation is men leading by example. Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is children with role models.